Francisco Sagasti Purple Party Pedro Castillo Free Peru Supreme Court of the Republic President José Luis Lacaros Cornejo general elections were held in Peru on the 11th of April 2021. The presidential election will determine the president and the vice presidents, depending on the results of a runoff between the two top finishers on the 6th of June 2021. The congressional elections determined the composition of the Congress of Peru. All 130 seats of the unicameral Congress were contested. 18 candidates participated in the presidential election, the highest number of candidates since the 2006 Peruvian general election. Pedro Castillo, a member of the left-wing Free Peru Party, received the most votes in the first round. He faced Keiko Fujimori, the leader of the right-wing Popular Force who had previously narrowly lost the runoffs of the 2011 and the 2016 elections. The president is elected using the two-round system. The first round voting was held on April 11 and allows eligible voters to vote for any viable presidential candidate. The top two candidates who receive a plurality of the vote proceed to the runoff election, which took place on the 6th of June. The winner of the runoff election and the presidential election is the candidate who receives a plurality of the popular vote. However, if in the first round the candidate who is in the first place already gets more than 50% of the popular vote, that candidate will automatically win the election and a runoff election will no longer be needed. The 130 members of Congress are elected in 27 multi-member constituencies using open list proportional representation. To enter Congress, parties must either cross the 5% electoral threshold at the national level or win at least 7 seats in one constituency. Seats are allocated using the D'Hondt method. Peru has 5 places in the Andean Parliament and are elected using a common constituency by open list. President Martin Vizcarra initially presented legislation that would set the conditions for a snap election in 2020. If successful, Vizcarra would not be eligible for re-election. The 2020 proposed Peruvian general election would be held on the 11th of April 2020 to elect a new president of the Republic of Peru, along with 130 congressmen of the Congress of Peru. It was eventually decided to be held on the 26th of January 2020. Opposition lawmakers condemned Vizcarra's proposal, defending the practice of 5-year terms. This constitutional reform was rejected. The 2021 Peruvian general election were held on the 11th of April 2021 to elect the President of the Republic of Peru, 2 vice presidents of the same party, 130 congressmen of the Congress of Peru and 5 Andean parliamentarians for a 5-year term from 2021 to 2026. On April 11, 130 congressmen were elected in 27 electoral districts, corresponding to the 24 departments. The province of Lima, the constitutional province of Callao and residents living abroad. The elected congressman will be sworn in and assume office no later than the 27th of July 2021. The constitutional president of the Republic and his elected vice presidents will do so on the 28th of July 2021. Multiple candidates called for constitutional reform or an entirely new constitution in order to reduce corruption and to bring more prosperity to Peru. Constitutional changes in Peru are overseen by the Congress of Peru. In order to hold a constitutional referendum, a majority vote from Congress is required to approve the election. All proposed constitutional reforms would also have to be approved by Congress. Following the first-round elections and the divided legislators from numerous different parties voted into Congress, chances of candidates changing the constitution were limited. Corruption in Peru has been pervasive and was recently brought to attention during the Odebrecht scandal, which involved Odebrecht paying politicians to receive contracts for public works projects. BBC News wrote in 2019 that Peru is perhaps where has caused the most severe crisis, and that the scandal has discredited virtually the entire political elite of the country, as all major parties and players have been implicated. The Odebrecht scandal led to several incidents in Peruvian politics. The suicide of former President Alan Garcia, the order for the arrest of former President Alejandro Toledo as well as the first impeachment process against Pedro Pablo Kuczynski and later his resignation from the presidency. Two candidates in the 2021 elections, Keiko Fujimori and Julio Guzman, were also under investigation regarding alleged bribes from Odebrecht during their earlier electoral campaigns. Kuczynski's successor Martin Vizcarra reacted to the Odebrecht scandal with multiple anti-corruption initiatives, although Vizcarra was controversially removed from office for his own alleged involvement in corruption and was replaced with President of Congress Manuel Merino. Vizcarra's removal was very unfavorable with Peruvians and resulted with the 2020 Peruvian protests. Merino,